From the rejection of basic biology to the butchering of the English language, gender madness and the British media's subservient acceptance of it may feel like a sad phenomenon that's been around forever. But just 15 years ago, things were very different. A viral clip from the Big Fat Quiz of the Year on Channel 4 in 2008 has served as an airy reminder of how far we've fallen from a time when common sense and a proper sense of humour ruled our television screens. So here's what some of our biggest household names, including Dara O'Brien, James Corden, Davina McCall and Jimmy Carr, had to say about the mind-bending suggestion that men can have wombs and babies.
Next up, Thomas Beattie announced he was going to have a baby, but what was unusual about the whole affair? OK, what have you got? Dara?
We have that he was a man, that he was a pregnant male transsexual. That's what was news. It was him having the baby.
OK, Sean, James?
We wrote it was an abomination.
OK, and what have you gone for, Michael and Claudia?
Well, I wrote...
He is a woman, she is a man.
We don't really know what the right answer is, but we know the answer, which is that it's a bloke and there's a baby. And people always say, but he's got a womb, which is obvious. And he had a baby, but he's a bloke with a womb.
Womb man.
Womb man.
Yeah, he's got like a manny.
Yeah.
How times have changed. Meanwhile, across the pond, one of America's most famous broadcasters is now vying to fight back against the scourge of politically correct but scientifically incorrect language around the trans debate. Megyn, it is so great to have you back. You have thought a lot about this. I mean, I love the message on your T-shirt. And you have made a big decision, haven't you, in terms of how you are going to address personal pronouns and trans folk going forward.
Yeah, I got this this T-shirt from Kelly J. Keane, who's been really leading the way on a lot of these issues and is brilliant. And it reads, "Female, the real thing," which is obvious, but it isn't in some cases, and people need to be clear. And one of the ways we're clear is by using the proper pronouns. And Kelly and others have argued that pronouns are a gateway drug. If how can I keep you out of my locker room if I'm referring to a man as a she? She can't come into my locker room. She can't come into my bathroom. You've already lost the argument. You've already ceded the debate. The reason he cannot come in is because he's a he. So if I'm required to refer to him as a she, I've already lost. That's why they're so insistent that we use their terms. And over and over again, what we see is biological girls and women getting hurt, getting the short end in fights with biological men. These are like, I'm arguing, via surrogate with people like Rachel Levine, who's the HHS secretary, one of the administration officials within the Department of Health and Human Services here. It's a man. He lived as man for 54 plus years. He got married. He had children. He went through medical school as a man. And then in his mid-50s, he declared himself a woman. Now he's an admiral. He's high up in the administration, and he keeps calling himself the first woman to do this, the first woman to. No, you're not. You're not. You're a man. And the reason you probably became a doctor with such ease and had such a brilliant career at a time when women were struggling in the medical profession is because you're not a woman. They had to climb a very different mountain than you did. So language does matter, but not in the way they think. So we can't see the debate. So this Rachel Levine, for one example, goes out now and tries to push this gender madness on our children at every turn, and just went to a clinic in Hawaii and praised this clinic because they are now referring to women as egg carriers. They are getting rid of the term women altogether, just egg carriers, to be inclusive. And so, I sent out a tweet about this guy saying, here is a man, meaning Rachel Levine, posing as a woman who's trying to tell the world to refer to us, actual women, as egg carriers. It's a no. And then you get these left-wing reporters all over Twitter saying, look at how Megyn Kelly refers to trans people. Oh my God, you're damn right I do. That Rachel Levine is a man, and he will not tell me how to refer to men posing as women trying to get into our spaces, or men posing as women trying to pretend that they can have babies. I will decide for myself what that language is, and I will stick to factual reality. Because the more I engage in taking that drug, right, that pronoun drug, the gateway drug, the less powerful my argument is, the less safe my daughter is, and I am, and my fellow women are. And until we find our strength and our willingness to speak out on this, we're going to keep losing.
And isn't it interesting, Megyn, to see how celebrities who never used to think this have sort of taken the Kool-Aid, drunk the Kool-Aid on this, but deep down they don't believe it, do they? They just know that they will be cancelled if they
don't
express reality.
And let me tell you something. So I was using the pronouns of choice, or proper pronouns, in my time at NBC. Early on at Fox, I figured, I don't, what's the harm? Okay, fine. It was such a small group. I didn't see the harm, as my long talking points memo a month or two ago said. But now we see the harm everywhere. Now this thing has exploded to a point where it's actually seriously damaging young girls and women across the globe. If you can't see the harm, you're blind. And so these celebrities who have, maybe they're like I was, maybe they just went along with it because it's like, seems kind of impolite. It's such a tiny number. Why be rude? We all know it's really a dude, but okay, he wants to call himself a she, whatever. I don't want to hurt your feelings. Well, it's not about their feelings anymore. It's about the safety of our daughters. It's about our spaces. It's about the integrity of the word woman and what it actually means. And if we don't fight for it, it'll be lost forever. And so those celebrities need to do what I did, I think, which is go back to reality. Kelly J. Keane came on my show and she urged me months ago to consider dropping the preferred pronouns, which I was still using relatively recently. Okay. And I was like, and you know what, Dan, as soon as I did it, I felt liberated. It was like, think of how you struggle when you look at who you know. I mean, let's take Caitlyn Jenner. We know that Caitlyn Jenner lived all of Caitlyn's life as a man. And I have nothing against Caitlyn Jenner. I think Caitlyn Jenner's been an ally in a lot of these issues. Yeah. But Caitlyn Jenner is, in fact, a biological man. And when you try to refer to Caitlyn Jenner as a she, you stutter, you stop. Your brain has to do some processing to get you to she because you know it's actually a biological man. Once you get rid of that, it is liberating. Yeah, totally. The truth just flows off of your tongue and you realize I'm home.
Yeah, and the whole they thing, I cannot do, Sam Smith, they. No. Because as well, you're not only butchering science, you're butchering the beautiful English language that has been developed over hundreds of years. But look, Megyn, I want to quickly talk about politics too, because this big announcement from Donald Trump this week, he's not going to be part of any of the Republican presidential debates. He's so far ahead, isn't he? He says the public knows who I am and what a successful presidency I had. He's branded his recent poll results as legendary. From Trump's point of view, Megyn, was this a sensible move?
I think so. I don't think he would have done poorly or lost ground if he had shown up at the debates. I don't. He's just too powerful a force and he's very good on the debate stage. And I think it would have worked to his benefit. But I don't think it's this catastrophic mistake that some believe not to go. He's 46 points ahead. I mean, that's what Joe Biden is ahead, basically, in the Dem race. And he's not going to debate either. He's treating himself, Trump is, as sort of the presumptive nominee, almost as an incumbent president who wouldn't take on all comers. It's his for the taking. And all these other guys are vying for the VP spot is essentially what he's trying to project. And I get that messaging. I mean, I don't remember a race in modern history in which the frontrunner for the party nomination has been 46 points ahead. There's never been one where the person went on to lose the nomination. So I understand perfectly what he's trying to project. And it's based in reality. And I think really, because NBC followed up with him on does he mean all debates? And he reportedly told them the first two, the Fox News debate and the Fox Business debate. And we'll see after that. And I think that's smart because he's going to wait to see what happens to his numbers.
Yeah, I think it is smart. I have to say, though, absolutely gutted from a personal point of view. My goodness, I was looking forward to Trump being back on the debate stage, Megyn. I remember that night when you and Trump went toe-to-toe on the debate stage. It's epic TV. So I think from an entertainment point of view, we're missing out. But politically, I completely understand it. Megyn Kelly, thank you so much. Host of The Brilliant Megyn Kelly Show, which, of course, you can find on YouTube and as a podcast. Really recommend you subscribe.